Hey guys, welcome back to the BuzWeaver channel. And in our top stories today, or was breaking news yesterday as we finished the top stories yesterday, from the New York Post, FBI launches criminal investigations of John Brennan, James Comey over Trump-Russia probe report. And of course, what we've talked about here on the BuzWeaver channel for a long time, whether or not the Establishment Uni-Party assets were going to be held accountable. Former CIA Director John Brennan and ex-FBI Director James Comey are being investigated for potential criminal conduct related to the 2016 Trump-Russia probe collusion. Really? The criminal referral involving Brennan was passed to the FBI by current CIA Director John Radcliffe, Justice Department sources told FBI News Digital. The investigation into the Obama-era spy chief involves allegations that he made false statements to Congress and is currently underway. Wow, how about that? It's unclear if the FBI probe into Brennan, one of the 51 intelligence officials who falsely suggested Hunter Biden's laptop could be Russian disinformation, encompasses more than his alleged false testimony to lawmakers. Well, go figure, right? Meanwhile, the specific nature of the potential criminal matter involving Comey is unclear, but an investigation has been opened. James Comey is a reprehensible, narcissistic, self-preoccupied, grandstanding, self-aggrandizing, well, I'll keep it family-friendly. But it's extraordinary what these men did. And I'm going to kind of skip around here to some of the more important elements of this. So the DOJ sources, however, described the FBI's view of the role Comey and Brennan's played during the investigation of claims that President Trump's 2016 campaign was colluded with Russia as a conspiracy, according to the outlet. And of course, this is what we've always heard. So the FBI and the CIA and the DOJ did not immediately respond to the Post request for comment. Let's see. Brennan may have set himself up to face perjury charges after a new email surfaced in the scathing assessment. And Brennan insisted that the discredited Steele dossier be included despite strong pushback from the CIA to two most senior Russian experts who said they did not meet even the most basic tradecraft standards, which is understandable, right? Because it was just complete nonsense to begin with. Another CIA official warned him that including the dossier risked the credibility of the entire paper, but Brennan formalized his position in writing, stating that my bottom line is that I believe that the information warrants inclusion in the report. No, he had the position to be able to pursue this, regardless of whether it was true or not, because he held the position that made that determination. The report also found that Brennan, Comey, and then Director of National Intelligence James Clapper were excessively involved, and well, which means that they were overly zealous and interested in pursuing Donald Trump at the behest of the Establishment Uni-Party. In the drafting of the assessment and in the chaotic, atypical, and markedly unconventional process rushed to complete it. And this is basically what they were doing. They were just appeasing their uppers. They were appeasing their handlers in the Establishment Uni-Party, as I kind of just bounce off different biased analogies there. This was Obama, Comey, Clapper, and Brennan deciding we're going to screw Trump, Radcliffe told the Post last week, which is, of course, what happened. And, so it goes on to wax about the different potential issues that they could both face, but there is no mystery here as to what was actually happening. And, of course, the entire exercise, as with all the lawfare, was to make Donald Trump look as bad as possible and to convince as many people as possible that he's a one-dimensional villain so people would not vote for him. So let's just hear a few little clips here that I wanted to share with you guys.
Well, now there's this. The FBI has launched criminal investigations into former FBI Director James Comey and the former Director of the CIA, John Brennan. Justice Department sources tell Fox News Digital the probes are related to potential wrongdoing related to the Trump-Russia investigation. That includes allegations of making false statements to Congress. We'll keep an eye on that for you.
That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. Hold them accountable. And here's Caroline Leavitt.
What we have seen is corruption at the highest levels against President Trump. The deep state threw everything at him to prevent him from coming back to this big, beautiful White House behind.
How many times have you heard us talk about that on the BuzWeaver channel? They threw everything at Donald Trump. The Establishment Uni-Party coordinated together with anyone and everyone that was part of or included into the Establishment Uni-Party.
Me, and he prevailed, and the truth must come out. And this administration is totally committed to transparency and to justice and to accountability. And we must have a rule of law in this country. We can't be a nation without law and order. That's what the president believes in, and I'm glad to see the Department of Justice is opening up this investigation.
Then, of course, we have the whole issue with with the Epstein list, which is a whole other topic that we have talked about. At least we've talked about the victims and the circumstances about that incident. So now, of course, it just comes down to all the individuals that were wanting that actual list. But I'm not going to go into those particular details because I want to make sure that you guys, we all cover this, because this is something we have talked about here on the channel for so long, seeing these people being held accountable.
Fox News alert, the FBI has just launched criminal investigations into two former Obama officials, former CIA Director John Brennan and former FBI Director James Comey, for their involvement in the Russia hoax. Sources say Director Brennan is under investigation for lying to Congress, and that Brennan and Comey were involved in a conspiracy. Brennan apparently told Congress that he didn't have anything to do with the Steele dossier. But we're hearing that Brennan's two top CIA officers warned the director not to touch it and called it an internet rumor. But Brennan pushed it hard anyway. Both Obama's FBI director and CIA director basically knew the Trump-Russia hoax came from Hillary Clinton's campaign, but they both used it to smear and investigate Donald Trump. Comey and Brennan's security clearances have both been stripped by the sitting president, and Comey just had a sit-down with the Secret Service over seashells. This is the beginning of a major confrontation.
I agree 100%, and it needs to be done, because there needs to be levels of accountability for what had happened here, because we all know, I mean, we're obviously, you know, I'm no deep diver into what the government does or have connections with any of it, but we all knew that the Establishment Uni-Party was desperate, and they were angry that Donald Trump had won because they had mishaps in trying to get a very unpopular Democrat, Hillary Clinton, into office. And of course, we saw everything that happened with Joe Biden. And then, of course, what the establishment was hiding. And even, you know, we got Jake Tapper out there writing books about Joe Biden not being coherent or well and these sorts of things. And he's coming out on CNN and pushing the book with his co-writer there. And so we're seeing it all as though this is what really irritates me, is that the condescension, talking down to American people as though we can't see what's actually happening. And the Obama or the Biden administration, well, Obama as well, we're all part of the Establishment Uni-Party, but Biden specifically was being covered up and protected and coddled as just a surrogate as they went about trying to introduce identitarianism, intersectionality, DEI, and all of these manipulative things to coerce and manipulate and basically kind of denigrate our country with all of the debauchery of their ideology, philosophy, and worldview. But I welcome your guys' thoughts and comments down in the published section. Are you satisfied, as I am, that Comey and Brennan are going to be held accountable for their actions? Because it was so evident. 2.5 years. And the CIA, by the way, and other agencies were telling these guys, you got nothing. And, you know, in very simple language, as we just talked about here, they didn't have anything to go on. They just wanted to drag Donald Trump and smear him in the headlines, as they did in New York. And I'm looking forward to Pam Bondi to going after Letitia James, Elvin Bragg, Judge Engoron, and Judge Merchan for violating Trump's civil and conspiracy of rights, as well as prosecutorial misconduct. The way they conducted those trials was absolutely unspeakable from anybody who's even worked in law for 10 minutes. It's absurd what they did, but I welcome all your guys' thoughts and comments. And, of course, I want to thank all you guys across NewTek, BitChute, Rumble, and Odyssey for your guys' continued support. You guys have been amazing. And, of course, below this video, you can find all my particulars and affiliate marketing links down there that helps out the channel. But, of course, your likes, your shares, and your comments do help out the channel, and it is genuinely appreciated considering all of the weirdness that's going on with YouTube. But nonetheless, guys, appearing there on the screen, that'd be the channel icon. You guys can click on that to subscribe, as well as to select notification. That way you know when there's content here on the channel. And I'll see all you guys in the next video.